All right, give it to me.
The following contains offensive language and spoilers. Listener discretion is advised. Dun, 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 dun,
Superman. I don't know if that's the words. I don't even know if there's words to that, but we're just gonna go with it.
Those are I am singing the words. Dun, 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 dun.
Didn't Saturday Night Live do like an actual? No, they did Star Wars. Bill Murray did Star Wars. That's right. Star Wars. Anyway, welcome back to the Comic Book Bullies with Nurse Bullying host Leroy, aka Jingle Bells, Batman Smells, Robin laid an egg, the Batmobile broke his wheel, and the Joker got away. Hey, my co-host.
Hey. Oh yeah, this is Eli, aka C3 Pizza O.
There you go. It sounded like some Spaceballs, but we're gonna keep rolling. And shout out to our third co-host, the AI, the algorithm, the Doombot, whatever you want to call
All
it.
hail the Doombots.
2025 is your year, Doombot. It's all you.
Yeah, what are we doing? I'll go back to sleep.
Because we missed last week, but from now on, Eli, next year we're not missing a single episode. Even if we're not here, Doombot will be running it.
Yeah,
so we would be
put
taking
it on autopilot.
Yeah, we're just put on autopilot. We'll be somewhere else. We'll be asleep. That's what the fuck we'll be doing. just wake up. Just do the podcast and wake up. Just let us know how it went. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. That being said, let's talk about it. So, appreciate everybody that's jumping in now because we did miss last week. We didn't do last week. The funny thing about it, even though we didn't do a podcast last week, in between podcasts for the last 2 weeks was the most traffic we got to our channel we've ever had. When we weren't here.
We picked a hell of a week to take off.
Right. It's insane. I'm going to throw some numbers. Like, I appreciate it because I know it's a bunch of new faces sitting here that don't know who we were. So shout out to everybody that joined the Facebook page because now we're at Facebook followers. We're at 3,000 followers.
Yes.
That should happen in like 2 days.
Yes. Welcome.
Welcome to
I know we apologize in advance.
Right. I know they like that click out, but so that YouTube was insane. Matter of fact, Eli, reason I know so many people here because, like I said, we did a reel that I'm gonna say went viral. Eli, I'm gonna say viral. I'm gonna toot our own horn, pat ourselves in the back because
it doesn't happen every day. So we might.
It doesn't happen every day. So I'm gonna say this shit. Yeah, we had a reel that went 3.8 million on Instagram. Damn. Yeah, that's number. I don't care who you are. Those are numbers right there. To put in perspective, like I'm gonna give you a little insight on some of the footage we look at on YouTube. Like I pull up on YouTube Studio, it was doing what is that? I can't read that. Eli, was it 15 million? 15,000? It was doing 15,000 an hour.
Wow.
On YouTube, it said 600K on YouTube right now. So there's two separate.
Is that monetizing numbers now? Are we?
No, we're almost there. We're almost there, Eli. We need 10 million.
Okay. So we still got to get naked then.
We still, or show feet or something, you know. So that for those who don't know, is this a 7-second reel that I just threw up on Instagram that I shared to Facebook and did all those crazy numbers of just Guy Gardner. And for some reason, Guy Gardner was like the biggest thing to come from that Superman Superman trailer that we didn't review. But everybody else on the planet did. So yeah, that's that.
Yeah.
Oh, what we got here? Oh, we got here. Shut up. Yes. Thank you for listening. So yeah. Let's see what you got. Are you gay? If you, depends on what you like. I don't know.
Sure. It's gonna cost you.
You all are gay. First, you gonna ask us the question, then tell us the question. You can't answer a question with your own answer. Are you guys gay? Yes, you're gay. Like, what you ask the question for? Anyway, what are we talking about? Anyway, Superman.
Gay Superman. Let's talk about gay
let's
Superman.
talk about Superman. Yeah. The reason because so like I said, we missed last week. That's pretty much everybody was talking about. I just want to throw up a little thing up there just to at least acknowledge that we knew that the Superman trailer came out. And people been asking me, what do you think about the Superman trailer? What do you think about this? What do you think about that? You already know what I was gonna think about. Eli, I've already told people what I was thinking about the trailer. You know, whatever it was, I was gonna like regardless. It doesn't matter. You know. Yeah. But since we gotta feed the algorithm beast, Eli, I want you to feed the algorithm beast. See, everybody knew what I was going to think about it. They already knew that. But you've been on this Superman binge, guys, last week while we've been gone. Like, that's all you've been doing? So.
Yeah. I did. It did make me want to watch the old movies.
Okay. So give us your thoughts on the trailer. Nobody wants to hear what I got to say. They want to hear what you got to say.
I thought it looked cool.
Okay. There you go.
It looks like a Superman movie. And yeah.
Okay. There you go. Oh, no, this is a new guy. Oh, it's not the guy that's calling us gay. It's a new guy. Just he. Michael Jackson. I guess you're a Michael Jackson fan, I guess. Plays Roblox and Lego. Okay. Yes, that is cool, I guess. I don't know.
This is what happens when we get followers, when we go viral.
Yeah, when people we know, we got to get used to them. They got to get used to us. I guess I don't know. But since we're here, Eli, I'm gonna just briefly say what I thought about this Superman trailer because everybody been saying it, but I feel like people been missing the point. Now you got all these YouTube videos and all of them that breaking down every second things you may have missed, 100 things you may have missed. Who is Guy Gardner? Who is Mr. Terrific? Fuck all that. Who cares? Here's what the trailer is about. Hold on, let me see this guy. I think it's still Roblox and Legos. Get the hell.
Get out of the chat, Spanish. Get out the chat,
Get out of that.
Let them talk amongst themselves.
Okay, yeah, I'm not clicking this anymore until I recognize somebody I know.
Yeah.
Doctor Strange is king. Okay, I'm not clicking this shit anymore. Anyway, what was I talking about? Superman. Okay, so the thing is, Eli, you know, I already know I'll say it. Now, you got all these people doing Easter eggs. Who's this person, who's like that. Y'all missed the point of this trailer or in trailers in general. The point of trailers is not to pick apart every single piece of the trailer to see this, who they've sent to that. The point of the trailer is to feel the tone of the trailer. The trailer is selling the tone of the trailer. It's supposed to make you know whether or not you want to see the trailer or not. Like I've seen people have mixed reaction on the trailer. For the most part, it's been positive. For people been saying this. A couple people are saying, like, I ain't feeling this. This trailer look like shit. This trailer look like the CW, whatever, like that. Okay, that's cool. If you don't like it, that's perfectly fine. If you like Man of Steel,
the CW was dope though.
when did this and the CW become a insult? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Yeah, man. Everything this y'all fucking missed out on the CW show, like the Superman CW show. That shit was dope.
Hey, they had some stuff other than Superman. Come on, they had Crisis was pretty good, and a few seasons of Flash was good.
Yeah, there was some good. I watched a lot of that shit for a while. You know.
Yeah. So I mean, but people want to
Mr. Terrific ain't nothing new.
Right. He was on the CW.
He was on what, the Flash, or was he on Arrow?
Arrow. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I got a whole thing about that. I'm so glad that show ended before I really started going into that, but I digress. Let's talk about Superman for a second. So the point is, this is the tone that they're setting. So if it doesn't matter whether you agree with it or not. I mean, you can have your own opinion about it. The point is, the trailer is selling you a tone. So if you're on board, cool. If you're not on board, that's cool too. That's just what it is. Because I always wonder, Eli, what would a James Gunn Superman movie look like? And now with this trailer drop, now I realize what it would look like. It would look like a James Gunn Superman movie. Because I realized that he's digging into like Silver Age wackiness with Superman and comic lore that no, movie director would touch. Zack Snyder wouldn't touch this shit. Richard Donner wouldn't touch this shit. Richard Donner couldn't touch this shit because since it was the first Superman movie, first superhero movie, he realized that any superhero movie coming behind that is going to follow, he's basically inventing a blueprint. So he's got to be careful about how he goes with this stuff. So he couldn't go too dumb. He couldn't use Crypto the Superdog in his Superman movie. Even the comics don't fool with Crypto the Superdog.
Yeah. I mean, it is interesting. I mean, I did watch the Donner Superman movies this past week, or he did the first one and then
and some of the second one.
Some of the second one. But I digress. But the way the original Superman movie opens, that it shows like they're actually reading, they're setting you up that this is a comic book. And they have pages of the comic on screen, and they're actually narrating like the first words of the original comic, and then the movie starts. So they are like paying tribute that this is a comic book and where the origins came from. And that this is a different medium and all that. So it's kind of interesting, looking back all those years, that they are paying tribute to the medium that it came from, that Superman came from.
Right, because they had to be careful with it because the way they look at superheroes back in the 70s is not the way they look at superheroes in the 20th century.
No.
The
And
20
those movies are very, even the original. I mean, it's very serious. The original is super serious. I mean, Superman don't show up for like an hour,
right.
because it's all
Because
the origin.
they had to sell that movie to adults.
Yeah, and so it's kind of serious, but it's also very lighthearted and kind of goofy. It's got a lot of slapstick comedy at times.
Yeah, because you still want kids to come see it also, but it's like because it's Superman. So, but they got to realize, okay, how do we get this movie to adults to see a cartoon? Because back then, past the in the 70s, past the age of 10, you stop paying attention to Superman. That's what it was back then. It's not like us old motherfuckers now talking about Batman and Spawn and whatever the fuck this dude talking about here, Venom and Carnage. Yeah, we didn't talk about that shit. Past 10, you stopped talking about that shit back in the 70s. Oh, so that's what they had to like. So how do we get adults to watch this shit? That's what they were like back then.
But those movies do have a lot of humor in them, especially the second one. But yeah, by the time Richard Pryor shows up, it's just all out goofy,
Yeah, and they were like, no, how do we make it goofier? Like, no, that's not that.
Yeah,
but now we live in a world now where you don't like convert the movies into comics. Now you convert the comics into movies. That's where you got all this weird shit like Crypto the Super Dog and then I don't know if I'm pretty sure you caught it, Eli. Superman fights a kaiju in this movie.
Yeah, I saw that shit.
Yeah, like where the fuck that shit come from? Like
I was like, oh shit. Yeah, I mean, I lit up like I was watching this trailer like, oh damn, oh shit. Yeah, I was pretty excited.
Right, and they're making Metropolis look huge like that. Like you watch the Daily Planet looks like the Daily Planet did in the comics. LexCorp looks like Luthor Corp, like it looks like this huge giant building. It didn't look like a warehouse or whatever the fuck Christopher Nolan was trying to do and shit. Like they want comic shit. They want this world to feel lived in, and they want Metropolis to be a character.
This this felt like a Superman movie. Because you know me, everybody knows my opinion about Zack Snyder. I was not a fan of those movies. Was not a fan of Man of Steel or Justice League. I was not a fan of sad sack Superman. So just whining and how hard it is to be Superman. Fuck out of here, you're Superman. It's awesome. Quit bitching. That's kind of how I felt about those movies. And then so seeing this trailer, I'm like, yeah, this looks like a lot of fucking fun.
Yeah. And I think and I think the world that they're making with this movie, I think it almost might be like just me digging into it, like Superman might be fighting like a different monster. We read Superman comics all the time on this podcast, and pretty much every other Tuesday, Metropolis is attacked by alien invasion or robots or whatever the fuck like that.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking in this movie that James Gunn's making, it's the same way. That's why the kaiju just shows up out of nowhere and shit like that. And at one time, there's an alien invasion outside of the building, and Superman's like ignoring it, talking to Lois, like
make it out with Lois.
Right. Yeah, like I don't feel like he'll do this shit right now. Look, we need to talk about us. It's another monster will come up another week, so it's not like it is in the other movies where they're afraid to go there. Like they're going balls deep into comic lore with this shit.
And that's the thing, and that's back to James Gunn. You can, I think, because we were worried about James Gunn is good at doing goofy shit. And where can he do goofy, or can he not be goofy with Superman? So I felt like this just shows you're right. There's a certain tone of it, but you're also seeing he is bringing a lot of the goofy Silver Age shit, but it's also showing his love of comic books. I think that's what's coming through, that he is a fan of comic books, and that's what we're seeing in this trailer. Because we're kind of worried, okay, don't turn Superman into a trauma movie,
right? That we were scared of.
This looks like he has a love for this character. He has a love for the comic books and this character, and he knows what this character means to everybody. So I think that's what's coming through in the trailer.
So I'm sold, but like I said, I was already sold. You don't have to sell.
We can see this shit.
Matter of fact, I if it was up to me, there'd be no more trailers.
Yeah.
I don't want to see anything else. I want to be complete. I want to go in blind as I can with this movie. So I don't want to see anything else from this movie. Just wait till it comes out on July 11th, whatever like that. And I want to just go in as blind as possible. I feel like as of now, I know more than I need to know about this movie.
Yeah.
So
yeah, we did not need to see Guy Gardner. and we,
Right.
but like,
We
yeah,
still Hawk Girl and Mr. Rivet also like that. Like we know that
I didn't
Metamorpho and all
mind
this stuff.
seeing them, but I'm saying,
Yeah.
it's like, oh,
Yeah.
cool,
We still don't know. We still don't know who beat his ass at the beginning of the movie. We still don't know that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and it was up to me. I don't want to know until I watch the movie.
Yeah, because that guy, oh shit, who the fuck did this to Superman?
Right.
And that was like my first. I was like, oh man, already Superman got his ass whooped already. It's just Zack Snyder all over
right,
again.
the movie just starting off, so shit.
Like, damn. And then when he whistles for Crypto, I was like, oh hell no. Is this Crypto come? Like, oh shit. Like okay, James Gunn.
Like he's selling crypto. I thought crypto would be like a small thing. No, he's selling crypto in this movie. Like he wants crypto to be a selling feature of this thing.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, because don't do no Zack Snyder and kill Superman twice in one movie,
Right. Oh, Eli, they're coming in hot. I think we need to move to the next section. But that's our opinion on Superman 3. We didn't get a chance to talk about it. We just talked about it. So boom, that's it. Okay, we'll move on past that. All right, so now we're going to talk about a show that I watched, and Eli don't want to admit that he watched, but he watched it too.
Did I? Okay.
Yes, you did. You watched 5 episodes. That's close enough.
Oh, I did. Yeah, yeah.
All right, so we're gonna talk about What If. Yeah, let me see if I can dig in on this one. Boom, What If. One final watch. Now, not only is this season 3, this is the final season. They canceled the show. The show's done. So yeah. I felt like that came out of nowhere, but hey, that's the thing. I thought the show was doing pretty good, but I guess Disney's like, nah. I guess they kind of doing like a revamp, relaunch, and maybe the show is too expensive for them to do. I guess I don't know. Whatever it is. I mean, because it's not just the animation. You paying all these big time actors. You got Mark Ruffalo showing up and shit.
Yeah, you got the actors. I mean, yeah, the animation is kind of like little bordering CGI, and after the X-Men '97. They ain't gotta do that shit no more.
Yeah, because you're not paying whoever does Wolverine's voice the same you doing. They actually got Anthony Mackie in this shit. So yeah. So I if they want to cancel, that's fine. The show ran, of course, like that. I've been on Twitter and X and all stuff like that, and people are not feeling season 3. Eli, for the most part, people are saying it's the worst. People are saying it's the worst thing Marvel has done. Now, here's my thing about What If. Let's talk about What If briefly. The entire series, the thing with it like that. I think it is a complete representation of everything Marvel is after Infinity War or Endgame, I would say. Phase 4 or 5, whatever we are right there. I think it's everything we want to say about that. It's basically kind of directionless, a bunch of new characters popping up. They throwing shit at the wall, seeing what sticks.
Yeah, exactly.
They're saying shit matters, but it really don't matter, and people are feeling it. People ain't feeling it. If you want to just go with it, just what? I'm not here for doing homework. I just want to see what the story does.
And that's exactly what happened. Just like me. Like I haven't watched every Marvel movie since then.
Right.
And just like I didn't watch every episode of this season.
Right. Because people are point at shit things that Marvel has done after Endgame. People point to What If as that, not season 3, especially season 3. They're just saying the show in general. I do think season 1. Let's talk briefly about season 1 of What If for a second. I do think season 1 was kind of like a bait and switch because they were saying that season 1 is going to matter. You got to watch it because it's going to factor into the multiverse or whatever Marvel's doing, shit like that, and it didn't.
Yeah, I mean, kind of with the Doctor Strange shit, the multiverse,
the Doctor Strange shit. Like they shove, Peggy Carter down your throat, Captain Carter. Oh, you got to know who she is. She's gonna be the big thing. Like then you go watch Doctor Strange and Wanda chops in half with her own shield. You're like, okay, well that didn't mean much. Okay,
or evil Doctor Strange,
And it wasn't even the same evil Doctor Strange. It was another evil Doctor Strange. So I didn't have to watch any of this shit. Y'all just said I did. Okay, whatever like that. So season 3, like I said, I've watched it the whole way through. They pretty much dropped them every episode a day. That's how they did it for the whole week. And I thought, honestly, season 3 is probably my favorite season because they're not worried about tying it to anything or tying it to you got to do homework for this shit like that. No, it was just basically them. Let's just do the wildest shit we could possibly think of and just say fuck it. Who cares? They didn't even do an overall arcing.
That's a what if comic,
That's a what if comic. People are saying, this shit is like fan fiction. No, it is fan fiction. That's what it is.
Yeah, these were comics. And that's like you could see Wolverine kill the Hulk, and and it not be canon. You could just that's what they were for. So
like
and that's what all the show was.
Yeah,
they're just stupid fun.
Yeah. Just enjoy it. Like the first episode, episode 3 was what? Hulk was a kaiju. He turned to Godzilla,
and that was dope. I want to see a movie that I want to see.
And the Avengers with Voltron or Power Rangers,
or like Gundams or some shit or mechs,
whatever you want to call whatever you say will give away your age. Gundam, Voltron, Power Rangers, whatever.
Mecha Avengers.
Whatever you want to call it, give away your age. But the point is, that's how the show started off. And like, okay, so they don't give a fuck this episode. Okay, they just doing whatever the fuck they feel like doing. They're just doing wild shit. Like
that was my favorite episode of the season. Well, so
I knew it was gonna be your favorite. I like Eli. I know he eating this shit up right here. Pacific Rim, whatever the fuck you want to call this shit.
Yeah. And then the next episode, Agatha Harkness goes to Hollywood. Fuck this shit.
Yeah, see, that's the shit I love right there because it was Eternals. Like, finally, we got Eternals back in this shit. Agatha Harkness killed a god and became whatever the hell, shit. Killed Erisha. I do think there was some hidden meaning in between it because they were like King, because Kingo showed up again and she was just like, I can't betray my god. It was like, what if I give you a 3-picture movie deal? Oh, done. I think there's some parallels in there. We're gonna talk about that one.
Some symbolism.
Some symbolism in it. They got to say that the whole thing is about Hollywood and becoming a star. And you can read into it as much as you want to, but the point was they didn't give a fuck about how this shit ties into Eternals or Agatha all along. They're like, fuck, let's just do shit. Let's just have Agatha kill a god, and who gives a fuck what happens after that, But my favorite episode of this season, maybe this whole thing that they've ever done, Eli, Howard the Duck and Darcy.
I did watch that one.
I love this episode because when we talk about levels of not giving a fuckness, this was on 11. They did not give a damn. And what I didn't realize that there was a callback to an episode in the first season. Because it was like in one of them episodes where Thor came to Earth and partied or whatever like that. It was a background story where
weren't they eating nachos or some shit?
Yeah, they got married in that episode, but it was like in the background. It was like a throwaway scene, which is like, oh, that's funny, whatever like that. Yeah. This is a callback to that. They're the same thing. So yeah. But here's my thing. Now, a lot of people, that episode divided a lot of people. Eli, a lot of people don't want to see Howard the Duck get laid, But Eli, we're old school.
Yeah, that's what he does.
We've seen this. Howard the Duck smashes white women. That's what he does. That's what he's known for. And Eli, I hope you don't mind. I stole this from your Facebook
that's my
profile. I took that shit from you. I figured you wouldn't mind.
That's my cover pic on my profile.
Right. See, we're old school. We know.
That's
we know this
so
shit.
Funny. I always forget that's up there. You know what? I sold something on Facebook Marketplace one time. And the guy showed up. I can't remember. Yeah, I was getting rid of like a chair. I was at a free on Facebook Market, and the guy showed up and he said, "Oh, yeah, I was wondering, was that Howard the Duck on your thing?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, yeah."
We forgot that was there.
The guy who showed up to buy my chair.
But here's the thing, Eli. Here's why people are so divided on that episode. Because yes, they want to tell a story about Howard the Duck smashing white women. When we could have had, because did you watch the very last episode?
I did see. Yeah, the ending where like
when they start throwing shit at you.
Yeah.
Samurai Ghost Rider.
Yeah, Thanos. Wolverine. Yeah.
Punisher Riri.
Is that who that was? I saw a Punisher. Yes. I couldn't figure out who it was.
It was Riri, Punisher Riri.
Yeah.
And they showed Blade as Moon Knight. Yes, they did. Blade was not in this thing. They ended Mahershala Ali. They drew Blade like that.
Okay.
Yeah, but no, they want to give us Howard the Duck smashing Kat Dennings.
Yeah, interspecies erotica, where she lays an egg.
Right. The writers barely distinguish fan fiction, fetish, or whatever like that. Now, look, I'm not mad at it because we understand. Look, I think Kat Dennings is overrated because I feel like they be giving all this sweater shit and frump you up, in Thor: The Dark World, because if she showed up like this in Thor: The Dark World, Thor, that would have fucked the story up.
Yeah,
Thor,
fuck Natalie Portman.
Let me see if she's worthy of holding the hammer. Natalie Portman, who? So that's why they put all the frumpy clothes and shit like that. So no, Howard, I get it, I understand, but they could have told other stories. Like if it's like Storm just shows up like just fuck all. They don't give it a story. She just shows up with Thor's hammer. Like how she get Thor's hammer? Don't worry about all that. She's got Thor's hammer. What other story?
Yeah, I did see that. That was the last one with Gahorty.
Yeah, Gahorty.
Yeah, and their daughter. That was their daughter. Howard the Duck's daughter.
Shows up because she was already like supposed to be some celestial messiah.
Yeah, she's like a god. So Howard the Duck is the and what's her face? What's her name? That
I got it on my thing. It's right there.
Cat?
No,
Darcy.
It's right
there. Darcy. Darcy. Duck.
Yeah, Darcy Duck.
Yeah. So they basically gave birth to a god.
Yeah. They
got
killed
like
every villain in the Marvel universe at one time.
Yeah. Yeah. It was like Raiders of the Lost Ark. Like her egg like shot out all this cosmic energy and took out like Thanos and like all the
and Dormammu
Malekith
and all this like
shit. Yeah, Dormammu and shit.
Like shit.
Yeah.
And honestly, the usual suspects, that's what they be complaining about. That they got too many God mode powerful chicks on this show, man. Why don't have any dudes on this show? Like, shut the fuck up, man. Like have a real criticism about this show. I know there's some out there, but don't let that be one, because that's easy. And Eli, I'm sorry, the Agatha became a god. I loved that episode. I think I watched mainly because Kingo and they had the Bollywood Kingo number, I guess.
I didn't watch that one. I saw the Shang-Chi one though.
I like the Shang-Chi one.
I was cool with that one too.
I mean, it was basically Kung Fu. The Kung Fu TV show.
Yeah, in the West and shit. I counted more than 10 shots when Kate Bishop had the 2 6-shooters, or more than 12 shots or whatever.
You're not about to. Well, actually,
she's like mowing them down. Like, yeah, it was cool. I'm like, wait a second, she's got revolvers. Like, she's just like unloading on like countless of enemies.
Well, actually, she should be doing that. So yeah,
but whatever. No, it was cool. Yeah. I dug that one. That was fun.
I'm trying to think. Those are the main standouts episodes I was thinking about.
Yeah.
I like the Riri one.
I didn't watch that one.
Yeah, that's when she became. Well, it doesn't matter. When she became Vision. Oh, and she fought Mysterio. That's why I liked it so much.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Mysterio took over the world.
Yeah.
So and then he was like, so they didn't know what was real and what wasn't real, because that's whole Mysterio's thing. So some shit was real, some shit was real. She had to use her vision to see it. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh, and that was the whole point of the show, because the third season of The Watcher, he started interfering more, because Riri was done like Mysterio was beating her ass, and then all of a sudden Watcher just jumped in and just interfered for no reason. And then even in the Shang-Chi when he interfered,
Yeah.
So at the end, then the Watcher was like, okay, enough of this shit, man.
You ain't watching no more. You're doing.
You ain't watching. You participate. You ain't supposed to be participating. You're supposed to be watching.
You're doing. You're a doer.
you're a doer. Right. So they had to jump in, do all their thing like that. And I didn't realize that they never said the Watcher's real name on this show. I never realized that they saved Uatu for the last episode. I thought they been said that. But yeah, I guess I was calling him Uatu the whole time, because I know his name, because that's the name of the comic. So yeah, so that's what they figured, like, oh, Uatu, that's your name? Like, okay. So cool. I enjoyed it. Fun. It's throwaway shit. It don't mean anything.
Yeah.
I know y'all mad because this ain't homework for what's gonna happen in the Avengers. It don't fucking matter, man. Who cares? Just enjoy it and watch it. Just watch some throwaway shit. So, like we leave the house going somewhere. Just watch the movie. Yeah. So, So I don't know.
Yeah, it was fine. Like, the episodes I watched were fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just it was a busy week. It's like,
a lot of shit going on. I watched these like the last 2 days, because I didn't even have my Disney Plus subscription expired. So I watched it like the last 2 days, like yesterday, basically.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's all still fresh in my mind right now. So yeah. Anything else we got to add or
about this show? No, it was like I said, it's another what if show. Like I've been fine with all of them so far. Like it's just dumb, stupid fun. Don't take it fucking seriously. It's just entertain. And if it don't entertain you, you don't gotta watch it.
Just watch something else. There's so much other shit on TV right now you can watch to be complaining about.
You ain't gotta watch this. If you don't want to see badass bitches whipping ass, you ain't gotta watch it.
Right. Like people complain about the Superman trailer. You ain't gotta watch it.
Yeah.
Shit. They tell you what it's gonna be. If you don't want to see Superdog, don't watch it.
You ain't gotta watch Little Mermaid.
Right. Nobody's forced. You ain't gotta watch Snow White. I know y'all boycott.
40-year-old quote unquote alpha males pissed off at fucking Little Mermaid. You ain't gotta watch it. I didn't.
Right. I mean, were you gonna watch it before? Wait, why are you boycotting? Why are you even paying attention to it?
Yeah. So. You ain't gotta watch Snow White. I ain't gonna watch it.
You gotta watch Wicked. You know, you ain't gotta get pissed off about that.
Yeah. Like, yeah.
Let's move on. Let's move on to something. I'll watch something else also. And I ain't gonna talk about this a long time because it's on Amazon Prime. I'm gonna talk about Red One.
Oh, okay. I did not watch this. No.
Okay. Well, I'll let you know whether you should or not. I'm not gonna tell you what I thought. Well, I'm gonna tell you what I thought about it. But I'm gonna just briefly give you an example of it, and that should tell you exactly whether or not you should watch it or not. Okay. So Red One, and I'll just throw the screen back up again. So Red One is basically what if Marvel and or Fast and Furious made a Christmas movie. There you go. That's a movie.
Okay.
So that should determine whether or not you want to watch it or not.
So is Superman. Is Santa Claus a superhero or some shit?
Fuck yeah, he is a superhero. This is Santa Claus.
Oh
yes. And this is what I don't understand. Why is J.K. Simmons so swole in this movie?
Like, wasn't he trying to be like? No, that wasn't him. That was Stephen Lang, who was trying to be fucking Cable.
Yeah, trying to be Cable. He got like swole and shit like that. But this is around the time when he was like in Justice League, and everybody thought like, oh, he thought Commissioner Gordon was like on the team or some shit, you know. But he swole like this in Red One. Like, why? He didn't have an action scene, no shit, like nothing like that.
Didn't take his shirt off or nothing.
Yeah, like is he Santa Claus and whoop somebody's ass or some shit? You know, nope. So that's my only thing about that. What else I got to say? But other than that, it's just your typical random buddy cop movie. That's what it is. You know, about Rock and Chris Evans trying to save Christmas.
Okay.
And the Rock is an elf. But here's the thing. His reason he's an elf. So he has shrinking powers. That's why he's an elf. And elf stands for something like elite liberation, some shit. I don't know. It stands for something. But the point is, he has shrinking powers. So that's why he's the Rock, but because he shrinks and he's still the Rock, but he's like Ant-Man and some shit.
So he's
but
like,
not Ant-Man. You know.
He can throw a fucking truck or some shit when he's all small and shit.
Like I said, it's a Marvel movie. Watch it or don't watch it, whatever like that. It's on Amazon Prime. What I don't understand is why the fuck they released this shit in the theaters, because this was no better than any other Netflix shit you watch on at home right now. So I'd be pissed if I watched it in the theater. Like, well, I just watched it at home. Yeah. So all I got, Snap score on it. 3.5 out of 5. Average of the averages. So yeah. Can we move on past that?
Sure.
All right. We're flying through this. Yeah, hell yeah, you know why we flying through this? Because of that TIMESLIDE bullshit. That's why.
Okay.
It's coming. Anyway, now we're at the video game section. We're going to talk about video game section. When I hadn't talked about video game section in a while, but I'm going to talk about it this week because I guess I could talk about this briefly. Remember, now I never got a chance to talk about the PlayStation Portal. I was always going to talk about it, but any week I was going to talk about it, we always missed that week and never going to talk about it because I was going to tell you, don't buy this piece of shit machine. But
is that like a Switch? Is that like a PlayStation Switch?
No, it's not. Everybody thinks it's a Switch, but it's not a Switch. Here's how the PlayStation Portal works. It only works if you have a PlayStation 5 already and you stream the games remotely. That's how it works. So you're not playing anything on it. You're just streaming it from your PlayStation 5.
Yeah.
So you get PlayStation 5, it'll work. That was until they released an update this week. So now, technically, you can stream games over the cloud now without a PlayStation 5 now. There's a few games on there. You got Ghost of Tsushima, Spider-Man 2, Horizon Forbidden, whatever that shit is, Gran Turismo 7. So if you have like that PlayStation Plus Elite Extreme shit, whatever like that, if you pay for that, then you can play those games without a PlayStation 5 as long as you're streaming them online, like you have Wi-Fi. So hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully I didn't lose anybody with that. That being said. But
you almost lost me.
I almost lost you. But that being said, I still don't recommend this piece of shit machine. And because even though I said all that stuff you can do with the machines like that, it is not touching Game Pass, Xbox Game Pass. Eli, over the 2 weeks that you haven't seen me, I have seen the light. I am believing that I'm converted
to Game Pass.
Yes, hallelujah. I'm gonna tell you why. Because while I was at home, I left my Xbox at home, and I was stuck at home. And on this MacBook, this Apple computer that we're using to stream this right now, I was able to play Forza on the TV in the back room and streaming it. I just logged into Wi-Fi. Matter of fact, I'm gonna take it a little step further. I'm gonna show y'all something. I'm gonna sell all y'all. Hold on. I logged into a website because I was logged to this website. I hope I don't cut the whole podcast off trying to do this shit. Share screen. And I did. Here we go. Okay, so what I did, I logged into this website, and I'm gonna show you this website. Yeah. Boom. I don't know if you can see it.
I can see. You barely see it. It looks like Xbox, the Xbox app.
It's the Xbox app, but it's not the Xbox app. It's Xbox. What's the name of it? Xbox. Okay, Xbox.com/play. So let's pick a game. Forza. I don't know why I play. I love Forza. I don't know. Continue anyway. I'm not gonna play the game, but right now it's loading right now. So actually, I'm streaming the game without the Xbox. All I gotta be is on Wi-Fi. That's it. It's loading up to the cloud. Please don't crash while we're doing this. I'm doing this live. Boom. It's right.
Oh shit. I heard that.
Yeah, it's all right now. And I was playing this with a PlayStation controller. Not even an Xbox, PlayStation controller. Loading right now, and I can do it. But the point is, I'm on right now, and I was streaming it, playing it. And I even snuck away and played MLB The Show at work, just because I could. I hope my boss don't. Luckily, my boss don't listen to the podcast. But the point is, this is Forza right now. I'm not gonna play it, but the point is, it's up right now. I'm playing in real time.
I could
if I wanted to right now. Boom. Just a little bit. Anyway, we're gonna go past it. But the point is, that is Game Pass right now. Y'all are missing out. Y'all are leaving, money on the table. I don't have the controller hooked up, so I guess I don't think some of these games you can play with a keyboard and mouse. Forza isn't one of them. That's why it won't let me play right now. I had the controller hooked up, and I'm not gonna hook up a controller. But the point is, it's uploaded right now. I can play it. So, boom, get out of that. Boom, done. So the point is, y'all are leaving money on the table. Y'all are missing out of it. Y'all not taking advantage of your full Game Pass if you're gonna do this. And the thing is, you don't even have to have like a supercomputer to do this. Any bullshit computer with 8 gigs of RAM, they can do it. Boom, that's it. When I'm not even talking about your phone, your iPad, all the shit like that, which you can do that too. So y'all missing out, man. You can be playing games anywhere. So, have I sucked Xbox dicks enough for this podcast?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay, because they're not paying us a dime for this shit. So
yeah.
So,
you got all the undercarriage and everything.
Right. Fondle. All right. So then can we move to the next part podcast?
Sure.
Okay. Like I said, it's Comic Book Bullies, but we're talking about comic books, and we're gonna jump into it. We don't have a lot of books this week, but the books that we do have is a lot of book. So, Eli, I'm gonna let you go first and jump into it and kind of ease us into this.
Okay. Well, I guess I'll start out with Sabretooth.
Sabretooth.
Number one.
Idea.
What's it called? The dead don't talk. The dead don't talk, or something.
Oh, okay. That's what it is. Okay.
Yeah. So this is like the secret origins of Sabretooth, I guess. So for those who don't know, Sabretooth is dead right now. The whole Krakoan era. Sabretooth's dead right now.
Yeah.
Book starts
off. Sabretooth war and shit. Yeah.
Yeah. Book starts off. Wolverine's in a bar, and he's some dude, this historian, is at the bar next to him, and Wolverine sees a picture on the wall, like all these news clippings and photos from like the 1900s and shit. And then he sees a picture of Victor like in an old photo. And the historian guy's like, oh, that's Mad Dog Murphy. He was a gang enforcer in the 5 Points, like the gangs in New York type of shit, So, and then the book goes into a flashback. So then it goes to a flashback.
So did Wolverine know about this?
No, Wolverine's like, what the hell? What's he doing? He's like, I know that guy. And then like the historian's like, oh, that was Mad Dog Murphy. Let me tell you about it. And then we go into the flashback. So back in like the early 1900s, late 1800s, 1900s or whatever, Sabretooth was working as an orderly at Ravencroft. And
I didn't know. Okay. I was going to say I didn't know Ravencroft was still around in time, but I guess you can just make up whatever story you want. So yeah.
Yeah. And Sinister is in the basement doing experiments on the patients. and he has Sabretooth kind of doing his bidding, kind of working for him and shit. Then there's a prisoner. One of the prisoners, his name is Fiskinov or something. But he said, "Oh, I shortened it to Fisk's for you dumb Americans." So he's an ancestor of Wilson Fisk, and he's like, "Yeah, I run a gang in the 5 Points, but there's a big gang war, and this guy, I forget his name, Michael Barton or something. Barton is his last name. He took over, and he's running. Is like, if you help me escape, you can work for me, So Victor's like, sure. So then, Nathaniel Essex like, hey, it's cuts to a scene of Sinister like, yo, Sabretooth, bring the next patient in, and he turns around and there's nothing but bodies. And this book goes hard. I was surprised how fucking violent and gory this book went. Like, there's heads, just the decapitated corpses laying all over, and then blood on the wall written, I quit. So then we cut to, this Barton character, this ancestor of Clint Barton, and he's this big, giant barbarian dude who's wrestling a bear. He's like a pit fighter. And there's like they're all taking bets. They're at the 5 Points in Manhattan, and he's wrestling a bear. He kicks the bear's ass. This Barton guy, big, giant dude. And then this Fisk dude shows up with Sabretooth. Hey, we're here to take over. I see what you've been doing. You're turning the 5 Points into a circus. I'm here to take back my territory. And the Barton's like, oh yeah, well, nice for you and your dog to show up, but I just wrestled a bear and kicked a bear's ass. What do you think I'm going to do to a fucking dog? And then Sabretooth just swipe and cuts his head off. And basically, yep, there's a new mob boss in town, and then the book says to be continued.
Oh damn!
So that's all it was. It's just another origin of Sabretooth, or a forgotten chapter in Sabretooth's life, and just showing Sabretooth being a badass. It's fine. It's nothing groundbreaking. It's fine. It is brutal and gory. I was surprised at how violent it was. But it's unnecessary. But if you want to see Sabretooth being a badass back in like the early 1900s, street gangs in New York type of shit, this is it. I might give this another issue. But it's just fine. I'll give it a 3.5 out of 5. It was fine.
Did you know this book was coming out?
No, it was kind of like, it was a light week for me, so this was sort of like a spur of the moment. Whatever, I'll check this out just because there's not much out this week. It was a little pricey. That's another reason.
Okay.
It was like $5.99. Like, the art is fine. Like, yeah, the art is fine. Like I said, it's gore. I was surprised at how violent and gory it was. So that I dig on that.
It wasn't like a red band or
no, it wasn't. No, it wasn't a red band. I mean, I swear this went harder than some of those red band books. But like, yeah, it's just Sabretooth killing people. Back in the day, back in the olden days, though. So nothing groundbreaking, nothing new. It's just Sabretooth, being ill. That's all it is. So it's fine. Like I said, 3.5 out of 5.
Nice. That's all they got to be. All right, here we go. We're ready for the shit now. I bit off more than I could chew with this book. This is TimeSliders #1. Now, what is this book about? This book is about.
Is this an event?
It's basically a buddy cop book with Bishop and Cable. Now, the thing is about these end of the year Marvel books, what they always do is that they always throw these books in there, and they always throw you like a preview of what Marvel's going to do in the next year coming up. Wakanda Empire and Galactic Empire, shit like that. Stuff like that. Now, normally these books normally star Kang, but Jonathan Majors fucked up so bad they didn't want to use him as a character in the comics anymore. So
they couldn't turn him white again.
Yeah, you know what? I mean, think about it. Kang never even showed up in What If. What the fuck? That's like the whole point of him.
Oh shit!
And they said they was even sitting in one of the episodes. They were sitting in his chair. So yes, they're purposely not using Kang in these books. But anyway, buddy cop book, Cable, Bishop. Let's go. End of the year preview run. TimeSliders or TimeSlide, whatever you don't call it. Let's go. All right. So book starts off. Some bird-looking mutant gets attacked by some vampire-looking mutant, and who stops him? Bam, Bishop. He blasts him in the head, talking about something. I've been looking for you. Because apparently this dude, he knows this guy in the future. He like took over the future and some shit like that. So he's trying to stop before whatever. Anyway, they're fighting. Doesn't really matter. Point is, before anything can really get started, he gets stopped by a time bubble. You're like, who the fuck stopped him by a time bubble in the middle of our fight? And he turns around. He's like, oh, I wasn't expecting to see you. And it is Tempest. So Who is Tempest? I don't know. Apparently they know who she is. She must be a thing or whatever like that. One of them deep cut X-Men comics, whatever like that. Anyway, she's here to recruit Bish because she's saying there's been a threat to the mutant timeline. There's somebody out here trying to erase every mutant from the timeline. Oh, and matter of fact, I'm trying to see what time I'm in right now. Oh, Bishop, hey, this must be like right after the first Krakoan age, huh? She's like, the first what age? But she's telling him, look, we need to go. We got somebody else we got to recruit. Well, who else we going to recruit? Okay. And then bam, they get recruited. But before they go there, when she's doing her time jump, she's like showing fragments of shit in the future you're going to see. Like you can see Immortal Luke Cage. And I think there's Jeff the Land Shark as a Venom symbiote or something. I don't know. Other shit too pops up also. He's like, what the fuck is this shit? He's like, it's best you don't see any of this stuff. Spider-Man, Sorcerer Supreme, all this shit, So they show up and they are in the future. And they get pointed a gun by some chick called Avery. Who is Avery? We will find out who Avery is in some book coming out in January. But until then, all you hear is Avery stand down. And who is it? Cable. And
Absolute Cable, Avery. No.
Right. Avery as fuck. Some shit. So Cable just like, Bishop, what the fuck you doing on my doorstep? You know not to come to my doorstep unannounced. Let me go grab my gun. So here's the thing. Everybody listening to this podcast knows Cable. Everybody in this podcast knows Bishop. A lot of y'all don't know the history Bishop and Cable have. They hate each other. One reason they hate each other, because Bishop spent like 17 years chasing Cable through time, trying to kill his daughter. That's a story I'm not going to get into. Maybe X-Men 97 will adapt it. Not going to get into it right now. Point is, they don't like each other. But they're at least cool enough that they don't pull guns on each other right now. So at least they're, the relationship has evolved at least to that point, So they're talking and praying, okay, so what are we here for? So the point is, the reason you're here because you two have enemies that are coming to wipe out everybody. And you're the only two that beat them. So it's the Children of the Vault. Children of the Vault, some shit that Hickman was writing that I'm not going to get into right now. Point is,
that was Children of the Atom.
Children of the Atom, not the same thing. They're different.
I got Fat T for Christmas. He got me that Marvel vs. Capcom throwback edition with all those games.
Comic. You
the game.
Like Marvel superheroes, all that shit like
that.
Marvel. I'm gonna buy that. I haven't bought it yet, but I'm gonna buy that. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's got Children of the Atom on it.
Because that was like
and the Punisher. I beat that Punisher game like twice now.
Already? Damn. Okay.
Yeah, it's a side scroller. You could be Nick Fury. Why? But I've played it a couple times. Yeah, you beat him up.
Oh, it was a fun ass game. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, it's fun. It's an old school retro game. That's what I'm into. So.
So we recommend it. Eli just recommended it. I was going to recommend it anyway, but yeah. But anyway, not Children of the Atom, Children of the Vault. Completely different thing. Point is, Cable and Bishop teamed up, I think, last year, the year before, and whooped their ass. So now they invented some super child of the vault that's got time travel powers that is going to go through time and erase mutants from the hitters. Like they're going to go through every like time point that you can't change, and he's going to change it, and that's going to wipe all mutants out. So y'all got to go there and stop it because y'all are the one, because y'all did it before, so y'all got to stop him. So like, cool, all right. And you know when you do it, and then and his name is Baltimore or some shit. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Time dude. Anyway, he goes there. He went to Weapon X, does some shit, eats Wolverine, races the timeline, and walks the door. But they saying that's cool because the timeline hasn't settled yet. But if he does enough of it, it's going to wipe us all out. So we need you guys to go find him. And don't worry, when you get close enough, this is going to ping and let you know he's in the area. So they go. So then they start. Oh, he unfreezes his girlfriend. They kiss with like that. They load up the guns, pull up, doing the whole montage shit like that. Bishop is like, damn, keep all these guns and shit like that. We actually could have been friends at one point. You're like, don't push your luck, lawman. So they go time travel, like time slide by two. So they time travel and they go to back in the past, and where they find Wolverine getting thrown around. They're like, oh shit, who's throwing Wolverine around? And they're like, oh, my mom. Dark Phoenix, because Cable's mom, obviously like that. But here's the thing: shit has changed. Miss Marvel is there. So why is she there? Time got fucked up. Anyway, that time dude shows up and eats Dark Phoenix, and then eats. They blast him with all their guns. Shit like they don't do shit. Yeah, it just eats him. Yeah, and then ignores Cable and Bishop like they ain't even there. And you got Cyclops, cheat, all this shit, and he just walks through this shit and eats the rest of the X-Men. Yeah, and they go. So, and then they just body slide out of there before he turns the attention on them because they're like, they can't stop him. So they fast forward to the future to try to regroup themselves before they could do that. They get attacked by Warlock from the New Mutants, but he's not Warlock. Yeah. He's
damn, check him out.
Yeah, he's like some kind of war thinking like that. And he's trying to
emphasis on war. Yeah,
Warlock. That's what he called him. Yeah. So before he can kill them, he gets destroyed by another X-Men, and this X-Men name is Bronze. Now, Bronze is in one of these new X-Men books. We're not reading shit like that. She's trying to tell them that she's one of the last X-Men left. So they're in the future. We don't know how far they are in the future. This might be like a year from now. And they basically say, so what the fuck happened to everybody? Okay, so remember Apocalypse? How you guys always trying to beat him and shit like that? Well, his son Revelation came to finish the job, and Revelation was one of those images that Bishop saw on his way over here, like with Cosmic Spider-Man and shit like that. So this guy killed all the X-Men, and one of the last ones left. So what we need you to do, since you guys are X-Men and you best time travelers we have, we need you to go in the past and stop all of this shit. So all this shit they're naming is the upcoming story arcs in Marvel. Bam, they just put it there right there. So Magic Spider-Man, One Nation of the Redoom, X versus X. I'm not gonna read all this shit. The point is, it's right there.
X versus X.
X versus X, all this shit. Yeah. I think that shit is actually happening right now, but whatever. So she's telling them, okay, since y'all are the best time traveler X-Men we got, we need you guys to go back here, stop all this shit. If you stop all this shit, Revelation will never come around and the X-Men won't die. And Cable's like, nah, we got better shit to do. She's like, what? Better shit to do? What kind of X-Men are you? And then it time slide by two. It just teleport out of there, And that's when this like, maybe we should have helped her. Like, we ain't got time for this shit. And matter of fact, wait, so they teleported specifically to Apocalypse, like in Sabretooth back in the ancient Egypt and shit like that, because Cable knows that guy is following him and eating every timeline he's at. Well, fuck it, set him at that Apocalypse, So he blasts Apocalypse, takes him out. He's like, what are you doing? You fucked up the timeline. He'll be all right. So then that guy shows up again, ignores Apocalypse, and goes after them. But instead of eating them, he throws up on them. He throws time up on them and teleports them to Genosha when the Genoshans got massacred and shit. And that's when they get there and they see a giant sentinel about to destroy the base. Like, fuck. So that building gets blown up, but they actually time travel out. So Cable goes to Bishop's future, where he sees Bishop as a kid and you see him running and getting shit beat out of him by ex-cops and shit, You're like, oh damn, he grew up kind of rough. Meanwhile, Bishop shows up in Cable's timeline where Cable's wife and daughter got killed and shit like that. He was like, damn, he's rough. So now that they see each other's point of view, they're like, oh, yeah, maybe I should be a little bit easy on him. He was a little bit rougher than what I thought. So he time travels back, Cable time travels back, and they end up going to the same spot where they first beat those guys, the children of the vault. They show up at the vault. And they're like, well, by the time your slow ass got here, you're like, look, I'm here, man. Let's fight. So they basically see each other's point of view now. They're like, fine, we can beat this guy now. So the guy shows up because they know he's tracking them throughout time. And he shows up, and where is he? And he's coming towards them. They blast him, don't do shit. And he's about to eat them now. And that's when Cable throws like a little time bomb at him. Just slows him down for like 5 seconds like that. They call Tempest to put a time bubble on him. She's like, and you put a time bubble on him right now. She bubbles him, and they body slide inside of the vault. And when they go in the vault, okay, take off the bubble. So we take off the bubble. He was about to eat them. Instead, they go to this point exactly where he was being born. He eats himself. So it's a paradox. So he deletes himself out of the timeline because he didn't exist anymore. So everything he ate gets pushed back in the timeline. Weapon X, Dark Phoenix, blah, blah, all this shit like that. And they save time. That's it. And they was just like, look, children, stop doing this shit. It took 2 of us to whoop your ass twice. You do it again, we're going to whoop your ass again. So, and that's pretty much it. Now Cable and Bishop are cool. They don't hate each other anymore. They realize they got more in common than they thought. And the end. Yeah.
They make out. No.
Yeah, they don't make out. Yeah. And Tempest tries to tell them all that weird future shit you saw, pretend like you didn't see it. Because it may or may not happen. Depending on who's writing the story. So yeah. Overall, that's all. Good, cool. I just breezed through this shit. It was longer than what I thought it was. You talking about your book was expensive, Eli? This book was expensive. But I like this one better than the other end of the year Marvel books because this actually did feel like a one-shot story, a get in, get out story, where the other one just felt like, Marvel preview. Here you go. So cool buddy cop story. I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5. It was cool. Long, it was cool. So yeah. All right. So what you got next?
Absolute Wonder Woman, number 3.
Let's go. All right.
So this is the Absolute universe where Darkseid has remade everything and turned everything dark. Turned everything into the Snyderverse. And this is Absolute Wonder Woman. So Wonder Woman was raised in hell by Hera. So that's this version of Wonder Woman. At one point, Steve Trevor somehow died and went to hell for some reason. And that was actually a very deep conversation in the last issue. But anyways, Wonder Woman sends him back. But since she's been back, she's now this badass warrior who's fighting this giant kaiju that's about to destroy the city.
What do you got? The Tetracide? What do you call it?
The Tetracide, yes. And she's telling the army to evacuate the city, and this thing is gonna basically emit some sort of sound that will hypnotize everybody, and people will attract people to the monster, and they will basically run into its mouth and get eaten
because they won't fear. Their fear instinct will be.
Yo, did you read this?
No, just like the first 5 pages.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it explains.
Let me stop talking like I know the fuck going on. Okay.
Yeah. It explains like what this thing does. So she's like, yeah, we need to get everybody out of the city before this thing starts making its noise and starts attracting everybody to it, and because it basically makes them not feel fear. So when he starts to make this noise, it basically puts them in a trance, and they run towards the monster instead of fearing it. And basically he'll eat them.
Well, the lucky ones will get eaten.
Yeah. So she tries to go buy them time and goes to fight the monster. So she's, using her badass sword, that big giant sword. It's funny. That sword that she has, that big giant anime sword or Final Fantasy sword. That was like the second. That was like the secondary weapon they were going to give her. At first, they were going to give her a giant axe, but then
You talking
fucking
about in story, or you talking about DC?
Yeah, what's her name in this story?
Okay.
What's her name? Kelly. Who is this?
Kelly
Kelly
Thompson?
Thompson. Yeah. She was saying she was gonna give her a giant axe, but then Absolute Batman's got a giant axe.
Right. They can't overlap. So yeah.
So they went with this giant sword instead. So anyway, she's fighting this monster, and a flashback happens back to hell when Steve Trevor was in hell, and Wonder Woman's like, you know what? I'm destined to be a warrior, and I'm supposed to help people. I was meant to, I wasn't meant to sit here rotting in hell. I need to go out and be a hero. I was destined to save people. And one of the things I can do is bring Trevor back to Earth, Steve Trevor back to Earth. But that requires a bunch of magic. So she starts studying all this magic on how to get Steve Trevor back to Earth out of hell. Mm-hmm. And one of the spells is, well, you need a hero's arm. One of the ingredients for this spell, you need a hero's arm. So she cuts off her own arm.
Wonder Woman?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Whoa. I was like, what the fuck? She cuts off her own arm. And that's how she's able to, bring Steve Trevor out of hell back to Earth. And then cut back to the battle of this monster, the monster ends up tearing off her arm. So it turns out that her arm, and then she ends up showing back up to the army, and they're like, what happened to your fucking arm? Oh, it was a magic arm. I cut off my arm before, but I did a magic arm, and it tore off my magic arm. So I have to do another spell to get my magic arm back, but we ain't got time for that shit. We need to get the people out of here because this monster's coming.
What the hell? Okay.
Yeah.
Is that the arm with the tattoos on it and shit?
Yeah, the arm with the tattoos. Which I think that's what those tattoos are for. I think there's some sort of runes or magic symbols, her magic arm and shit. So I thought that was kind of cool, because at first I thought they're just like Viking tattoos, or you know what I mean?
Right. I thought you just doing shit. Yeah.
Yeah. So so she's like, I'll get everybody out of town, and then she realizes, wait a second, I think I have an idea, there's a camera, there's a news reporter doing a kind of reporting live from the scene. She goes, you know what, everybody listen up. I'm gonna, basically I'm gonna do a magic spell. Everybody who's not out of the city, listen to me. And she says, I'm gonna make everybody deaf. I'm going to do a magic spell. She can't hear the
thing. She can't hear it.
So I'm going to make everybody deaf so you can't hear this monster screaming, and that's what she prepares to do. Oh yeah. And she meets Barbara.
Cheetah. Yeah.
Cheetah. Yeah. So she runs into her on the street because she's like doing, reporting or whatever. She's trying to be a journalist or a historian or whatever. And you're an Amazon. Oh my God, I've studied Amazons. Are you like their chosen warrior? So you're Wonder Woman. So it turns out like the Amazon's chosen warrior is named Wonder Woman. According to Amazon lore that Barbara Minerva
like in this universe. Okay.
In this universe. So Barbara Minerva gives Wonder Woman her Wonder Woman name.
Nice.
So that's kind of where it ends. She's preparing to do this spell to make everybody deaf so they can't hear this monster. And yeah, this is dope, man. I still, this is out of all those Absolute books, I think this is my favorite one. It's just Wonder Woman.
The title Wonder Woman AF. So
yeah. She's fighting a giant monster, and she's not like she's still Wonder Woman. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like the dark like Absolute Batman. He's it's another version of Batman. He's poor. He didn't grow up rich and all this shit. Superman is like, whatever, that one where he's working in the mines and shit,
Right.
Lois Lane works for, is like a soldier and shit,
Right.
Like there's that different versions of these characters where this is still Wonder Woman, even though she was raised in hell. She was raised in hell, but it's still Diana. and she's still compassionate. And even when she's fighting the monster, she's like, "Yo, we don't have to fight. I'm gonna kill you because I'm fucking Wonder Woman."
She told the Harbinger too, like, "Yeah, we fight."
Yeah. And so she's talking to these monsters. Like, she doesn't even know if they can understand. Like, even Steve Trevor. Do these monsters understand you when you're talking to them? She goes, "Oh, I don't know, but I'm just letting them know that I'm Wonder Woman, and we don't need to fight because I'm gonna kill them. So if they want to live, they can leave. And I'm giving them a chance to leave because I'm fucking Wonder Woman. And I'm gonna whip everybody's ass." So like, there's this confidence she has, and we don't have to fight. Please, we don't. Violence isn't the answer. Just leave, and we're all good. But if we fight, you're gonna die. And I think that's just awesome. So yeah, so she's still empathetic and full of compassion, but she's still a badass. So yeah, so it's a 4 out of 5. I'm really digging this book. So yeah,
nice. All right, last book I got. So like you did Wonder Woman. I'm going to do Justice League Justice League Unlimited number 2. That's what it is. The book where let me wake up. The book where they pretty much threw every single every DC person on the team and just said, "Have at it, go."
Yeah, I was like the question, and yeah, everybody. You reviewed this before, right?
Yeah, I reviewed the first one. Yeah, I made the first issue. So yeah, so this is the second issue now. I can't remember what the fuck happened in the first issue. I was underwhelmed, but that's how I stick with it. Like I said, it's Mark Waid. So Mark Waid usually doesn't let me down. So we'll see. So like I said, this book is Alien Invasion Central or some shit, whatever the fuck. Anyway, start with it. Let's go. So book starts off with Blue Beetle getting swallowed up by aliens. Who cares? So
everybody's getting eaten this week.
Yeah. And so they're in Costa Rica. They're kind of showing what happened and basically just saying they're getting attacked by parademons, out of nowhere. And before they can get killed or anything like that, boom, that's when the Justice League shows up. So roll call: Superman, Wonder Woman, Black Lightning, Mary Marvel, Martian Manhunter. Yeah, Martian Manhunter, Star Sapphire, and Indiana Jones. So yeah. It's Dr. Occult, but yeah, he
I was gonna say, who is that?
But it makes you wonder though, did George Lucas read that first and be like, Anyway, Dr. Occult actually predates Superman and Batman. So he's like one of the oldest superheroes there is. So yeah. Anyway, they go to work on the parademons, start fighting shit like that. They're trying to figure out what the hell is going on because remember, Darkseid's dead. So what the hell are parademons even around like that? And who's controlling parademons? And that's when a batarang shows up, bam, explodes the parademon. And you get Batman all fucked up and shit like that. And Superman's like, "Batman, what the hell happened to you?" Like, Batman, what the hell? What you mean, what the hell happened to me? I've been fighting these guys since you've been gone by myself. So I've been holding them off till you got here. Oh, and another thing, Blue Beetle's gone, but who cares? That's not the important. The important thing is these things have been stealing children. So there is a nest somewhere where they're taking these parademons, they're taking children and taking them to this nest. So some of y'all need to fight the parademons. Rest of y'all need to go find the children. And the rest of y'all need to go tear up that nest. So go do that. So he sends and Batman kind of like paired up everybody to the people. So you got Mary Marvel and Wonder Woman, to the leggy supermodels that got, Greek god powers. They go somewhere. Martian Manhunter and Dr. Jones, they go somewhere. So they go do their thing. And meanwhile, we get I'm gonna bypass all this shit. Anyway, Atom Smasher lost his Atom Smashing abilities. Some big Chinese fat guy got his powers now. So they the Atoms show up, steal his powers, get his power back, boom, that's it. And they like, look, this ain't enough. We need to get one more guy. So this is their whole thing. They're trying to promote their own book. I ain't got time for that shit. Anyway, they move on past that. Then we go to the Watchtower, and you got Mr. Terrific trying to figure out who were the main bad guys in the last book, and they call themselves Inferno, and apparently they got $1 billion worth of tech to throw at us at any given time. And the thing is, we don't know anything about them because nobody on this Watchtower knows anything about them. Meanwhile, they pan to that guy who's a spy, who's spying right now, so he knows everything about it. If they find out who he is, then they know what's going on. So yeah. Meanwhile, cut back to the Justice League. And they're you got Mary Marvel and Wonder Woman. They were like, I could throw down lightning and burn up this nest, but that would, ignite the forest. So let's just throw it in space. So they throw it in space, they go, but before they go, that's when they get caught by some giant monster pops out of nowhere and grabs Mary Marvel before she gets down there. Meanwhile, you got Martian Manhunter, and this is interesting. So you got Martian Manhunter, Dr. Occult, and Dr. Occult saying, Martian Manhunter, I already knew about you. I knew about you when you were John Jones because I was doing my detective shit. I knew who you were. You pretty much do the same thing I do. As a matter of fact, I've studied you. I know who you are. You're basically Superman before Superman. And he's like, nah, not anymore. Just like I was following you, like you were following me. Right now, I'm following you. You're like, what do you mean? Okay, so that whole absolute power shit, Martian Manhunter is finally admitting to Dr. Occult, Amanda Waller fucked him up when he didn't get all his powers back.
Oh yeah.
So his eye vision powers, the heat vision, shit like that, gone. His psychic powers gone. But he didn't tell the Justice League because he was scared they were gonna kick him off the team if he did that shit. That's why Batman sent him within. He was like, go use your psychic powers to go find the kids. He don't have psychic powers. So he's kind of like letting Dr. Occult find the kids and he's gonna just follow behind him. You're like, damn, that's messed up. So yeah. So and then they find another nest and they find this giant dude right there. And Dr. Occult, like, I know you don't have your psychic powers. Can you get in his mind some kind of way? He's like, even if I had my psychic powers, it wouldn't work on parademons because they're just mindless beasts. They just run around and don't do shit. He can't hear anything we're saying right now. And then that's when the parademon turns around and says, oh, I hear everything you're saying. And they're like, what the fuck? They're like, oh shit. So yeah, they're in trouble now because this parademon can talk. Meanwhile, Mary Marvel is shocking the parademon that's fighting her. It ain't doing shit. And it's when the parademon gets hit with a bigger bolt of black lightning, and I just gave it away because it was black lightning. So he took it away. Meanwhile, you got parademons. Oh, and the parademon is basically going to a evil monologue about him. Like, how are y'all here if Darkseid is dead? He was like, because every parademon nest, Darkseid will give one parademon intelligence to look over the other parademons, to make sure the nest is okay. And I'm one of them that, he gave intelligence to. So he stuck me down here and just left me here. And I ain't seen him. That's because Darkseid's dead. He's like, he's dead? What? You mean? And he's telling Martian Manhunter, you telling me I'm exiled on this planet that I didn't have to be on and I want to go home, but I can't? Do you have any idea what it feels like? And that's when Martian Manhunter just flew off the handle because he's just like, you're using your bullshit excuse to hurt children. You're like, well, you're not even human anyway. Why do you care about these humans? You're like, I don't care because I care. And he turns into the parademon, show him, you are a monster. This is what you look like, and starts beating the shit out of him. He's like, because that's all you are is a monster. And he beats him down so bad that Wonder Woman has to pull him off of him because he was about to kill that dude. Like, we can't kill him. We need information from him because he's the only one that's smart enough to tell us anything. And Superman's just like, John, when we get back to the Watchtower, we're gonna have a conversation. He's like, no, we're not. And he leaves. He's ashamed of himself because of what he just did. They're like, and one of them like, did he just? He like, yeah, he did. Look, we got an APB out on John Jones, Martian Manhunter. Y'all find him because we don't know what the fuck's going on with him right now. And what's going on with this book? And that's when John Jones is just like in the wind doing shit. So yeah, that's the book. Now, I know I flew through a whole bunch of shit, but I will say this. I like this issue a lot better than I like that last issue because it actually had a point or was going somewhere with the story. So I was like that. Damn, why y'all keep asking super? Whoever you like. Who do you like? You tell me who you like. Because I know we give you this
oh, that old conversation.
There's a lot of comments with just that alone. So y'all tell us who your favorite Batman or Superman. So yeah. But yeah, and that's the whole point of the Justice League Unlimited. Like even the cartoon, when you watched it, you got these random ass DC heroes that you may or may not even heard of just pop up and just get a spotlight, or get some shine. So I want to see what that. And honestly, I don't want them to rush to give Martian Manhunter all the powers back. Because right now he's always just like Superman, but less than Superman. So if you give him other powers, he can get his fight his own thing. So kind of want to see where that goes. So yeah.
Yeah.
So hold on, I'm trying to see. Is Power Girl still a baddie? Yes, she is. That's why we keep reviewing her comics even though we don't know shit about those that run. But yeah. But that's all I got. Like I said, I like it. I'm gonna give this book. I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5. It was shorter than that TIMESLIDE shit I just read, and it got to the point. Even though it has some Adam Project shit throwing in there or whatever. Okay. Yeah. Anything else you got or
No, I'm booked out. That was it. That's all I read. Those are the only 2 books I read this week. Like I said, it was a light week.
It was a light week. I know it's the end of the year. DC and Marvel are trying to get this shit out of here. Eli, I think next week, we need to do it. I think we need to do a top 10 something. I don't know what it is. Just top 10 something.
Oh, is that the fucking best of the year shit?
Yeah, we should have actually done it this week. But I'll be honest with you, these last 2 weeks have kicked my ass. I've been like going. So I didn't have honestly, I didn't have the mental capacity to put together a top 10 anything list. So
yeah.
Clint Eastwood always said a man needs to know his limitations. So there you go.
Yeah,
so
I mean, are we doing like books, like comics, and
we definitely doing comics. I don't know if we're gonna do a top 10 comics, but we can just name like our highlight comics.
5, at least top 5 or whatever.
Top 5, something like that, like issue or something. Video games.
Yeah.
I played with video games this week. TV shows. I'm definitely gonna put Fallout in there or some shit like that.
Well, yeah, no shit. I think there's, but yeah, because I'm thinking about movies. I'm like, damn, did I see 10 good movies? Yeah,
we're
10 good movies.
I think I can put together 10 movies. I've seen 10 movies this year. So
yeah, but were they good? Were they worthy of Were they worthy of my list though?
Look, whatever 10 movies I saw this year, I'm just ranking.
Yeah, but there's more TV shows that were better than movies this year.
There were good TV shows this year.
Yeah, and Fallout would go on that list. Yeah.
Fallout is definitely going to go on there. So yeah. But yeah, we'll, like I said, we're going to knock that out next week. We're going to put our brain power together and we're going to knock this shit out. So yeah, before 2025 like really gets going,
Yeah.
So, but until then, this is Leroy.
This is Eli.
We'll talk to you guys next week. Same bullet time, same bullet channel. Until then, die 1,000 deaths. Kill me,